Hey, Shalom Makim. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachachadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who do real well. Peace and salutations to you, brothers, doing this work in truth and sincerity across the four winds of the earth. Wanted to touch on a topic here real quick. And, it was in regards to Jacob, being the seed that was chosen to receive the promises that was promised to Abraham, and then from Isaac until Jacob, and from Jacob into the 12 sons. Okay, and we can grab it here. Matter of fact, what is that new covenant? Okay, this is the book of Jeremiah 31:33. Now, we know according to the book of Deuteronomy 28, if we were to do certain things, then the Lord would put us in a position of rulership, and we would avoid the curses and everything. But we know that didn't happen. We did not keep the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So the curses fell upon us. But the Lord said he's going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel, where we're not going to have to teach one another, the truth. We're all going to know the truth in the kingdom, from the least unto the greatest. Jeremiah 31:33, it says, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel." The I is Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. "After those days, saith the Lord," right? After the Lord establishes his kingdom, "I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts," or their mind. In the Hebrew is la'ab. "And will be their power, and they shall be my people, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, his brother." Israelites. And this is the thing, you Christians, man, you think that this is talking about everyone in the whole world. You got to remember that when you read the book of Matthew 1:21, it says Yahweh Shah was born, what? To bring salvation unto his people. And if you don't believe it, look, we can bring it up right here. Matter of fact, let me grab it in the Blue Letter Bible. Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly called Jesus Christ, was brought to bring salvation to his people, and we know that he was born amongst what nation? The nation of Israel. He was a Hebrew Israelite. Why? Because he spoke Hebrew. And he was an Israelite because he descended from Israel, Jacob, whose name was turned to Israel. So he was a Hebrew Israelite. Matthew 1:21, it says what? And she shall bring forth a son. And who's that she? Mary. That son being Yahweh Shai. "And thou shalt call his name" what? Not Jesus, because J and E, these are not grammatical, alphabets that existed back then. No. The name that existed back then, who you call Jesus Christ, his name was Yahweh Shai. "For he shall save his people," not the whole world. So if he was a Hebrew Israelite born unto the Israelites, how is it that he came to save the world when it says that what? He shall what? Save his people from their sins. And who is it that can sin? Can the whole? Yes, the whole world has offended because they have taken the laws, statutes, and commandments into their hands, and they have proclaimed to be the children of the Most High God. So the Lord's going to hold you to that standard. But really, you're not the children of the Most High God, Christians. Okay, he has a bloodline that he has chosen to himself to be the children of Israel, to be the chosen. Psalms 147:19, it says what? "He showed his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation." So no nation knows how the Lord deals, man. Who knows the punishment of not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father outside the nation of Israel? We all have suffered for disobeying the Lord. And when it comes to his judgments, the Israelites, yes, we have known them, praise ye the Lord. You see? But the Lord called Jacob to be the heir to his covenant. It went from Abraham, Isaac, then ultimately Jacob, and from Jacob to his 12 sons. Okay? Let's bring up this point real quick. Genesis 17, and let's go to verse 18. And it reads and says, and Abraham said unto the Most High, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. Ishmael, we know, was Abraham's firstborn son through Keturah, not Salakia, through Hagar, Sarai, or Sarah's servant. So now this is being, Isaac's firstborn. He's like, look, this is my firstborn son, man. My firstborn. You don't want my firstborn? That was a custom to take the firstborn son of a... But he says, nah. And Abraham said unto the Most High, oh, that Ishmael would live before thee. Remember, the Lord told Abraham that you're going to have a son by this time and by this day. But they didn't believe it. It's talking to Sarah and Abraham. Sarah was supposed to believe. Abraham was supposed to believe. Right, they were going to have this child. The seed was going to be carried on through Isaac. Even though Ishmael was the firstborn son, Isaac was the one who was going to carry on the covenant. His bloodline would receive that covenant. Verse 19 says, and the Most High said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear a son, indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, Yatzazak, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Now, who was the child of Isaac? Who did Isaac beget? Let me grab it here. Okay, so Genesis 25:21, it says, and Isaac, let me see. Nope. Genesis 25:19. It says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah and his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days will be fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red, like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother, and his hand took on Esau's hilt, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80, which is 60 years old, when he bare them. Isaac and Esau fighting in the womb. Who was the blessing going to go to? Let's see what the Lord did in the spirit. Let's see what the Lord did in the spirit, because nothing, man doesn't have free will. Man does not operate outside the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. If you do something today, it's because the Lord willed it for you to do it in that day. Genesis 27:34 says, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. That was through the Spirit. You think if the Lord didn't want that to happen, that it wouldn't have happened? Yeah, it would not happen. But the Lord ordained it to happen. Verse 35, it says, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob, for he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away the birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not one blessing reserved? And he said, hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him the Lord, and all the brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? So the Lord has been setting up Esau Edom for a long time, man, because now when Esau Edom loses that fight, he ain't got no excuse, because you've been given everything that you need to survive. Okay? So, once again, man, I just wanted to bring out this point. The Lord chose Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and then Jacob, the 12 sons, to receive this truth. All right, he made his pact with Abraham, Isaac, and then his seed after him, that we were going to retain this truth and preach this truth unto the end. So with that, Lord, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua.